Welcome to the Building Blocks of Financial Freedom, and my name is Kyler Nathaniel. So, we've all been in that scenario where we've got money in our bank account. There shouldn't be anything else left to come out in the month. And we say, let's go out on the town. I've got whatever amount, $100, $200 left over my bank account. And that's just blow money now, right? So we go out, we eat, we're having a good time, we're enjoying ourselves, we pay the bill, we go home, go to sleep, wake up, and bam, we're looking at our banking app, right? We all do it. And we go look at this banking app and we see, yesterday I had $200 in my account, but now I'm negative $75. What happened? And then we start looking through the transactions and we see, I forgot about the electric, it was coming out. And the reason why these things happen is because we haven't really been keeping track of our finances, right? Yeah, we get the bills and we put them on the fridge or we put them on the desk or whatever the case may be, but we're not actually writing them down anywhere. We're just kind of going off of our memory in hopes that we remember, right? So part of financial freedom is controlling your money and not letting it control you. So the question is, how do you control your money? How do you make it work for you? Well, the first thing that you've got to know with controlling your money is you've got to know what's coming in and what's going out. And this is exactly what making a budget does, right? So first, let's cover some of the benefits that we see with making a budget. First thing it gives you, we've already talked about it, is financial control. That's what we're all trying to get in financial freedom, is financial control of our money. We make it work for us. It does what we need it to because it's a tool. And then second, we can see what cuts need to be made. If we're spending too much money, we look at our budget and we see what adjustments can be made. Then third, you can make a savings plan. When you're making a budget, you see what you've got left over. Therefore, you see what you can save, right? And then last, but definitely not least, you can make a payoff plan. This would be for your credit card debts. This would be for your student loan debts. This would be for your mortgages, your car loans. Maybe you owe somebody some money, whatever it is. If you've got a budget, you can see what you're bringing in, what you've got left over. Therefore, you can see what type of payments you can make, right? So let's just take a look at an example of a budget just to give us a ballpark of where we need to start and what we need to do. In another video, I'm actually going to go over how you can write up different budgets based off of how you're paid, if you're paid weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. So stay tuned for that video. So we see here what we do with a budget is you want to take all of your expenses that you have on a monthly, weekly, bi-weekly basis, whatever, and put it all down. You can do it on a phone, you can do it on paper, you can do it on the computer, whatever works for you. But take all of those expenses and put them down. If you're not sure what you spend on, say, the groceries, estimate. Get you an estimate. But make sure that you over instead of under. If you know that you only spend about $250 on groceries every month, you're better off putting $300 than you are putting $200. Because what you want to be the most accurate is your total number of expenses every month. When you have a good accurate number, this will help to show you what you have to work with. So you get all of it, you put it down, even the $1 charge that you have every month, you put it down on here. So you get an accurate starting point of what's going on. Now, once you see that, you might have some hard truths that you got to swallow, because you might realize you're spending too much money on gas, you're spending too much money on your credit card, you're spending too much money on your groceries, you might have to make those cuts. And if that comes up, that'll be a good thing, because it'll put you in a place to where you have money left over every month after you get it all straightened out. So now once you have those expenses, you take them and you put them against your income, and you see what you have left over. So if everything is working well for you, you should have excess funds left over. Like in this case, we had $3,000 in income, $1,600 in expenses, with $1,400 left over every month. This is what you want. You want a surplus of money left over every month. Now, again, back to what I said earlier, if you're in the negative and you don't have anything left over every month, you'll need to come back over here to the budget and see what adjustments can be made, right? You might realize that you don't need that car payment. So once you see what you have left over every month, this is where you can make a starting point. This is where you can see, oh, I can pay more towards my credit card. I can pay more towards my car payment. I can pay more towards my mortgage, Or you can see, oh, great. Now I can start saving up so that we can go on that trip. I know we've always wanted to go on that trip. It costs us $5,000. Now I can do the math and figure out how many months it's going to take me to save some money up. So now you're in a good position because you know what's going on with your budget. And because of this, it gives you peace of mind. You never have to worry about that bill coming out that you forgot about because you've got it down in the budget and you know where you stand, right? So what we got to keep in mind with a budget, because a lot of people get scared of budgets, they run from budgets because budgets give them some hard truths to look at and they feel restricted with a budget. But think about it this way. All the big businesses, all successful businesses use a budget. If they didn't use a budget, they would fail. So what you got to do is you've got to treat your finances like a business would and budget it. This just tells you what you got coming in and what you got going out. That's it. There's no restriction there. The only restriction you have on it is what you put on yourself in the budget and what you're trying to accomplish. So remember, money is a tool and you want to make it work for you. And by knowing what you got going on with your finances, this is how you make it work for you. Now that you see that you've got these excess funds, now you got some things you can do. You can save, you can invest, you can pay off debt. You can go out and buy that thing that you've always wanted, the new car, the boat, the house, maybe you want to invest in some real estate. You've got a lot of options now because you know where you stand. And now you're never in that predicament again where you say, oh, great, I've got $200 in my account. Let's go out to eat. We go out to eat and then everything's good. Wake up the next day and we're in the negative. You don't have that because you're keeping track of what's going on now. And you know when it's going to come out. And you know what's going to come in. Now, this is all because we're in charge of our money now. Now, stay tuned for my next video on making a budget because we're going to break this down even more. And we're going to go in depth to see how you would write up a budget if you're on a weekly income, if you're on a bi-weekly income, or if you're on a monthly income. So I hope you've gotten something out of this. My name is Kyler Nathaniel, and this is the Building Blocks to Financial Freedom. Please drop a like, drop a comment for some feedback, and please subscribe to the page because we got more content on the way. Thank you.